So I think I'm gonna do I don't know, something. I say something a little different. It's only different because I don't ever do it, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to start the wood stove here in a minute, but I got to get some wood in the house. But I wanted to show you something before I did that. The pigtail that I was talking about yesterday for Carolyn's RV hookup, just so you don't think she's moving into the RV. If I die, she wants to be able to have the ability to hook up to electric without a lot of pain, you know, hiring electricians and everything. So the most simplistic thing we came up with is an RV connection. So we have this breaker box out here. It has a meter, base, breakers, the whole thing. So all she has to do now is call the electric company. They'll come out, hook up the electric, and then she can, then yesterday we had an electrician come out. He installed this RV box, and so I got the pigtail today. I've zip tied it, but this is all 110 or 12, you know, 20 amp plugs, just like your regular house plug. So all she has to do is come out here and plug it up. She doesn't have to do anything now other than call the electric company. So she'll just go down to the solar panels over here, and I'll show you again just so you understand what I'm talking about. And she can unplug the house from the solar panel system, drag that cable up, which looks like this, and there's another cable that goes into the well, just like this. So all this wire goes down to the solar panel system, and she just drags it up and plugs it into that RV box. So this wire and one other wire here that I'm not gonna, I don't want to dig for it, but it's around here somewhere. So all she has to do is unplug those two wires. One's for the well, the other one's for the house. Plugs it into that RV pigtail, and she's got electric. Pretty simple. And so that's done. One less thing that we have to worry about. It's something that I've thought about doing for a long time. And when he said the price for that, I was like, yeah, that's just too cheap not to do. And then of course he brought the lawnmower up and basically trading work for it. Got to get a battery for this. The battery was shot, and I replaced this over the summer, but it's broke again. So what a frustration. Anyway, I want to get some firewood. Now this is going to be kind of a challenge, given I only have two hands, and I still have to carry the camera and turn the knob into the house. So let's get some firewood here. Okay, so far so good. I've got the camera, got the firewood. I got the firewood. Now we gotta get the door. And Girlie wants to go outside. Come on, there she goes. So now we'll start a fire. Drop off the firewood. We used to keep huge stacks in here of firewood, and what I noticed was that we were letting out more heat into the you know, because we had to open the door and bring all that firewood in, than it was worth. So just bringing an armful at a time when you're already coming into the house, and that way you're not just letting heat out, you're letting heat out so you can bring firewood in. It just didn't make sense with what we were doing. So this just seems like a better solution. Now, last night, okay, let me explain. Yesterday, Carolyn cooked in the crock pot. The house is pretty consistent with the times of days, the time of the day that you need to start the wood stove. So at 4:30 in the morning, I get up, I start the wood stove. And then anywhere between noon and 2 o'clock, I typically start it again. And that gets us down to about 8:30. And then I can start it right before I go to bed at 8:30, somewhere around there. And then that gets us through the night. Now, when I get up in the morning, it's usually pretty chilly in the house. You know, it could be low 60s in the house, which is fine. You know, we got blankets, and the dogs don't seem to mind them. It's 20 degrees outside, and Girlie's been outside most of the day. I mean, she's been inside the house. You know, I just let her out. She's been inside the house probably 20 minutes. So, I mean, she's fine with the cold temperatures. The other dog, I don't think she cares about the cold temperatures. She'll go out there and stay all day as long as we're out there with her. So, for her, it's not about the temperature. It's about, are we anywhere in sight? So, I don't think the dogs care about the cold weather. And since we have blankets, it doesn't bother us. So when I get up in the morning, then again, I can start the wood stove at 4:30. So yesterday, Carolyn used a pressure cooker, and it kept the house warm until 4 o'clock. Well, since the normal time frame to start the wood stove is at between noon and 2, and when I started it at 4, there was no way that the house was going to be cool enough at 8:30 to start the wood stove again. So I went to bed knowing that I was going to have to get up in the middle of the night. The thing is the temperature was already dropping. When I went to bed, it was, I think, 76 degrees in the house. It was 81. See, I keep an eye on the temperatures that fluctuates throughout the house, or throughout the day, see, you know, where we're at, what I should be doing, those kind of things. So when the temperature in the house maxed out, it was at 81 degrees. And then it starts to drop. Well, when I went to bed, it was at 76, so I knew I was going to get up. So I got up at midnight last night, and we were at 63 degrees. So it dropped a lot, from 76 to 63 in what, 3.5, 4 hours, somewhere around there. Now, if I'd have started at 8:30, it'd have been up to 81 degrees, and the stove would have been hot. See, that's the key, is the stove stays warm. So it gets up to 81 degrees, and that just means that's all the heat that the stove is putting out. And then you have this slow descent until the stove completely cools off. Once it cools off, it just plummets. So that's where we're at, probably 8:30ish, was the stove was starting to get to a point where it couldn't keep up the heat any longer. So at midnight, it was 63 degrees in here. But if I'd have started at 8:30, we'd have been at 63 degrees by 4:30. So we'd have gotten an extra 4.5 hours out of it. You know, 4.5 hours out of it. So I like that we use the pressure cooker. It saves on firewood, but it does make it a bit more inconvenient to figure out how to keep the house warm and to be able to get a good night's sleep. But it's not you know, overly inconvenient. It's just every now and then I have to do it. Okay, so Now the other day I showed you that we can clean the window on the stove here with the torch. And so I do it every time now. Yeah, that sun is going to block it. I wonder if what this would look like. I'll do it on the other side. Everybody likes me lighting the stove, so I try to do it as much as I can. And I tell you, this new torch, I've said this in other videos, it's really made a huge difference. It just throws out so much more heat, and it heats up the chimney faster, which is critical because then you don't have to leave the door open as long. The sooner you can get the door closed, the faster the house heats up. You gotta think of it this way, if you have the door open, basically all your heat's going out the chimney. As soon as you close it, somehow or another, through science, engineering, the heat is contained within the stove a lot more. And also, it burns the smoke, because those reburners burn that smoke. You're actually getting more temperature with the door closed. Or more energy. Maybe that's the best way to put it. So, until that door closed, you're losing all that potential energy from the smoke up the chimney. The other morning I lit the stove and then I ran down to start the generator. Well, the door was still open. I was letting the chimney warm up. No, I went out to get the dogs, that's what it was. And the smoke was just pouring out the chimney as it was heating up. I came in, I shut the door, I went back outside to look for the smoke, it was all gone. There was no smoke coming out of that chimney. I literally was outside, came in, shut the door, went right back outside, and the smoke disappeared. So it makes a huge difference. It burns all that smoke. And see, the hotter I can get it, with the torch on, the faster I'll heat that chimney up, and the faster I can get this door to shut. If somebody tries to sell you firewood, and they say, it's no big deal that it's got too much wet. See, the problem is if you have wet wood, or wood that is not cured, when you shut the door, the flame wants to die. Well, they'll tell you, people will sell you this stuff, they'll tell you, oh, just leave the door open. Well, now you're losing 70% of your energy by trying to burn the water, and then you're losing the rest of the energy up the chimney because the door's open. So you just shut this, try to get that flame going. And the reason you're shutting it like this is because you got this tray here, so when it sparks, it falls down onto the tray, it doesn't come out into the house. And so now what I do is I come up here and I check the chimney temperature with my hand. I used to check it with the laser thermometer, but I don't have to do that anymore. I just know that I've gotten, I guess, so good at it now that I don't have to. I mean, I can hold my hand on it for a bit, so it's not hot enough. It should, like, you know, instantly burn you. The problem is I just couldn't get it hot enough with the torch today, so it's going to take a few seconds. But you can see all that smoke. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not. There's smoke right there. I think I can see it in the screen. See, that's just going up the chimney. As soon as I shut the door, that'll hit those reburners up there, and it'll burn that smoke. So the reason I'm checking the chimney temperature is right now the chimney is full of cold air. Cold air falls. Hot air rises. It's a hot air balloon. You put hot air into a balloon, it rises. So heat rises. So as you get this chimney hotter, it starts to draw a vacuum up the chimney from the heat, just pulling the air through. But if the chimney is cold, it holds that heat down. And so you're having to warm that heat is what you're doing. And the only way to do that is leave that door open. As soon as you shut the door, you lose that draw. Now it's starting to get hot enough. I can barely hold it. And see, you'll see the flames die off a bit. If I'd have done that any earlier, they would have completely died. And the other thing you want to heat up is those reburners. You get those reburners heated up, that way it starts burning that smoke. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take the video over to my other channel. I appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you, get things done so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.